On the morning of May 1st, 2025, 18-year-old Ryan Hinton was fatally shot by Cincinnati police officers. Police were responding to a report of a stolen vehicle when they encountered Ryan and three others. According to body camera footage, officers claimed Ryan pointed a handgun at them during a foot chase, prompting them to fire multiple shots. A firearm was recovered at the scene, but it had not been discharged. The following day, Rodney Hinton Jr., Ryan's father, attended a meeting with Cincinnati police to view the body camera footage of his son's shooting. Family members reported that Rodney was visibly distraught during the viewing and left abruptly. Later that afternoon, around 1 p.m., Deputy Larry Henderson, a retired Hamilton County Sheriff's deputy working a traffic detail near the University of Cincinnati, was struck and killed by a vehicle. Rodney Hinton Jr. was identified as the driver and was arrested at the scene.
Okay, so first off, I want to say RIP to Ryan Hinton, RIP to Officer Henderson, and condolences to both of the families. The next thing I want to say is, why was your son stealing cars? Because look, these are the Kia boys up there, right? 18 years old. He might have just been in with the shits for 1 week, and this might be the incident that could have sat, like if he didn't get shot, he could have sat down and really thought about what he was doing, but it wasn't. As a father, you got to make sure your son doesn't become a Kia boy. That's the first thing out the gate. Next thing is the body cam. I never see Ryan Hinton point a gun at the police officer. But at the same time, what do you expect when you're running with a firearm from the police? Your son thought this was GTA, so you went and did more damage by killing a random police officer that had nothing to do with the situation at hand. And the reason for that is because they didn't give the name out of the officer that actually killed his son. So when he left and they told him that, he just did a crime of passion. Then I believe this is a crime of passion. As a parent, I do feel his pain, and if anybody would hurt my child, who knows what I would do. But at the same time, there's no way that you let your son get in that situation. What's even more crazy about this situation is Officer Henderson, this wasn't the first time he actually got hit by somebody.
First and foremost, condolences on both sides, but I'm old school, man. I think, eye for an eye is still a thing, man. It's just how I feel.
But how do you feel about the body cam?
Well, the bits and pieces that I saw, I don't know. I really can't touch on what's going on with the body cam. I know that, Rodney Hinton Jr. was very passionate about his son not being armed, and that's all we can really go off of right now. I know that there's some police reports out there. There's some things that are being said.
Yeah, they said they got it. They said they found a handgun on the young man. So let's just break down this context. I know we'll have Dave do it, but basically it was a stolen vehicle. Suspect ran on foot, and then police officers shot him. Now that little transpire how his back turned, and if they seen a weapon, that's what's going to be, what determined an investigation on these officers and see if they're in the wrong on that. But the father, obviously being a father, bro, losing a child, your emotions get the best of you, bro. And this is what happened, man. Can you put yourself in his shoes? Would this be something that you would do if you lost a child to a police officer?
I mean, circumstances are very different. We don't know what could possibly take place to make someone do the things that they do. Circumstances can change a way a person does things on a day-to-day basis and make them lose their shit. I pray that I would never have to go through something like this, because who knows what would happen. I think that if he would have maybe took a deep breath, step back, and assess the situation, this could have been done in a way where maybe a little bit more direct to what it is that caused the situation in the first place. I know I'm tap dancing a little bit right now, but
well, yeah, I understand what you're saying too, because we're older now. We obviously see that, like when your daughter was missing, you needed the police, right? even though they didn't really help that much. You had to basically do everything. But at the end of the day, you still was hoping, needing them, you know.
Not really. I knew that it was all bullshit. I knew that they're numb to any kind of real reform or change that they could possibly be a
So you
part
still
of.
hate police because what they did to you as a child.
Absolutely, man. And it's funny that you bring that up, man, because I there's a lot of situations where I had fucked up situations with the police when I got taken into the system. I was 5, and the ACS lady came with 2 police officers in a box police car, um, and I was crying for my mother the whole time, and this lady just told me to shut up, and you know I cried myself to sleep, man. And then there was another situation where I got stomped out by the police. I was like 9 or 10 or something like that. Um, Kids is going, it's a long story, plug, but I don't know if you got time, but this shit gets a little emotional for me. So when I was younger, my mother she was a heavy drug addict, man, heavy on the crack, heavy on the crack. So I'm running the streets. I got my little crew. Um, all our mothers know each other. They're all in the same kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? We know each other. Um, so it's rough. We ain't got no food like that. We ain't got no clothes. We don't go to school. We don't want to be around the crackheads and the smoke and all that shit. So we're just running the streets. So we end up getting a little meal together. We got a box of cereal, a jug of milk, and some cups. We go to my building, and we're just happy as shit that we got food. So we're spilling cereal and milk, and people heard us. I guess we was oblivious, and police came, chased us to the roof, and they stomped us out and sprayed us with mace, and then just left us in the care of my mother. So um, I think that's what really did it. And then there's other times where I had interactions with the police, and just wasn't kosher, if you know what I mean.
Now, what transpired after this gentleman got locked up, right? After killing a police officer, goes into the courtroom. It seems like all the police officers in the counties and even in Hamilton County, Ohio, that this happened in, they all show up there and they all face him and he faces them and he stares them down. You know what I mean? It really
As
is
he
really
should,
tense.
as he should, man. Um, uh, it's about time. I don't know. I don't want to get his cancel plug, but obviously, you know, eye for an eye is a real thing, man.
I just think if it was the same police officer that killed your son, I would get it. But going, it's kind. But then I think another thing, like the gang mentality, right? You know how LA gangs do it. They see whatever color. Like if one color killed your homie, the next thing to do is go kill anybody with that other color or that other side, right? It doesn't matter who it is. The job is done in his eyes. Like you took one of mine, I'm taking one of yours. He didn't even need to get because I think he almost looks at it as they're doing what they do, and he has to, and it's just like some gang shit, bro.
Well, the police are a gang, but I think that really, and this is just me though. I get on my
Because I heard
conspiracy
you say this
theory shit.
before. Don't make this a black and white shit. Make this a blue shit.
When it comes to uh, Mr. Hilton, I think that he did this in a sense of giving it more exposure than it would have if he didn't do what he did. For whatever reason,
Great
they say
point.
that there's a lot of things that they're not addressing when it comes to the body cam and his son being shot and killed. So it's not black and white. It's not an open and shut case. There's some shit that shouldn't have took place, if you know what I mean. So I think if he's just doing, you know, his best he can to bring light to the situation, um, and that's just how I feel, man. Almost like on some John Q shit to an
Is
extent.
we only saw one angle. We only saw, I believe it was the shooter's body cam. So we requested the records. We requested all the other body cams. We requested the reports. We did the ordinary public records request so that we can really analyze what occurred. I mean, what we saw in the video. It's hard to determine whether or not that officer was in imminent danger or should have thought that they were in imminent
Ding, ding,
danger
ding.
before they took shots. So we are specifically investigating, that part of this entire tragic situation.
Mr. Wright, to the person who says Ryan was in a stolen car, had a firearm, according to detectives, and this is what happened, what do you say to that person?
That's correct. But being in a stolen car, having a firearms, we're in Ohio, so you can open carry in Ohio. So that's not a death penalty. Being in a stolen car, having a gun, that doesn't mean that you should be
Thank
shot
you.
and killed.
Just to be clear, are you disputing any of the comments we've heard from the chief, any of the facts that she
That
laid
stolen car doesn't help though.
Well, I'm not familiar specifically of what facts you are indicating. However, we believe that there that this incident should be investigated. It's not as cut and dry as this officer should have just pulled out his gun and shot at Ryan. It's not that cut and dry. So that's why we're doing the records request. We're going to analyze frame by frame each one of these videos to determine why the officer made that deadly decision to shoot.
I don't know, man. Stolen car and a firearm. I don't know. So he's probably going off of the fact that because he's not out the squad car yet, right? So he's probably going off the fact that he said he saw him with the firearm, right? So comes out the car, gun hoeing, automatically pull. When does he pull out? Did he pull out yet? He, yeah, he pulls out, and then he waits for him, and then look.
News today, Cincinnati police sharing new details about a chase that led to a suspect being shot and killed by police over in East Price Hill.
Yeah, that was like cut him off, bro. Cut him off and shot him.
That's crazy, bro.
Police chief sharing body camera video of the incident.
This all unfolded very, very quickly. We're talking about 6 seconds from the time that officer got out of his vehicle until he shot and killed that armed suspect.
Give you an update on an incident that you're aware of, I'm sure happened earlier this afternoon, approximately 1 p.m. We had an auto accident at Martin Luther King, Burnett Woods Drive, where a Hamilton County deputy was struck. He was outside his vehicle conducting traffic enforcement. He was struck by a vehicle.
I think I understand why he did what he did in a sense, because it's like, I don't know, like that right there, that body cam shows that he definitely was like kind of half-ass ambushed, bro. Right? So Mr. Hinton kind of ambushed this officer in the same kind of fashion in a sense. I guess it's hard to compare the two, but if it's kind of like an eye for an eye kind of thing.
Doesn't this make this worse so in America where now we're going to have like worse experiences with police officers? Isn't the goal to have better
It's
experiences?
been bad forever, man. I do see this not making it better. I see this being becoming a big problem because it's gonna create the divide even more so than what it really is already, and it's an invisible divide that nobody really talks about, but it's there. You know what I'm saying? And this is gonna divide things even further than what they are now. It's gonna be visible. That invisible shit is gonna be gone.
His son was gunned down by authorities, which will
Keyword, gunned down. Because that's really what took place. Once you see that body cam, man, that's an ambush, bro. He caught the drop on him. He was there before he even got there. Like, he didn't, you know what I mean? Like, intimidation tactics is a real thing that they use, man.
How you think he's getting treated, bro? In jail right now?
Well, on an inmate level, he's good. I'm pretty sure if anybody can get anything to him, they're setting him out as much as possible. But the only thing that would be stopping that is if they got a fraternity of fucking racist fucking crackers that are gonna hinder any kind of fucking anything for him. But they're gonna do it in a way where they don't, they don't make it hot. But either way, man, it's gonna be rough. But on the inmate side, they're gonna definitely be looking out for him as much as they can. But when it comes to the crackers, man, they're gonna try to keep him away from everybody.
He
Deputy
probably
names
thought he was
have
going to
been
kill himself
identified.
too at the same
Authorities say
time,
he
right,
recently
DBS?
retired from Hamilton County.
Oh no, I don't think so. Yeah, because to do that, that car would have been in half. You know what I mean? I think he just stepped on the gas, man. It doesn't
A
take that much
crosswalk,
force.
a crosswalk cop, man. The guy that's guiding our kids across the street, bro.
He's actually a retired deputy. He's doing this for extra overtime or extra cash, I guess.
Oh, this wasn't even an active cop, bro.
Yeah, well, when you're gangbanging, it's not a 50-50, man. It's either you're all in or you're all out, man. Just saying. See, we got fucked up.
So to give you an idea, this is 2500 Warsaw. I'm gonna step out in front for a minute. Warsaw Avenue is down here. This is the long driveway, goes up a hill. Where the incident occurred is at the dead end of the parking lot back here. You'll see vehicles there now.
That's kind of like racial profiling, bro. If you get what I'm saying, like you're automatically going straight to the back, bro. Like, come on, bro.
You'll see a photo of the stolen car that we're going to talk about was backed into a parking spot back there. As you can see, this is a stolen Kia. It was stolen out of Northern Kentucky yesterday.
Mhm.
You can see we have two uniformed cars there. Prior to those uniformed cars arriving, we had two undercover cars that pulled into that dead end, saw the vehicle. They backed out. They saw that there were individuals inside the vehicle, so they backed out and let the uniformed cars make the approach, which is the...
So they was following them, bro? So
With
there
the
was like
unmarked car.
an investigation. They had an investigation out on them prior. And the way they came in was like they was looking for a problem, bro, because they rammed the front of the fucking car. You know what I mean? So this was like a hunt to them if you really think about it, bro.
Well, the
Because
car was just stolen the day before.
yeah, I get that, right? But to come in hot like that, you're gonna get like a response, bro. I'm not saying that you're gonna get,
That's a Kia Sorento, by the way.
yeah, the Key Boys is a real thing, man. They that's a real thing. But what I'm saying is they came in hot already, man. Like, what was you expecting to happen after that? You got a bunch of kids in a car, stolen car. They may not have guns, right? Allegedly. And then you come in hot like this. What do you expect?
They had guns. The gun was confiscated.
All right, well, till DNA and fucking fingerprints come back, bro, I don't want to hear shit. That's just me though. I don't know, man. This seems like it was already their minds were already made up when they came in that they was gonna come in with force. They wasn't talking, bro.
Well, those Jitterbug Kia boys, man, they're going rapid, bro. They had to come in hot.
Yeah, well, this is not okay, brother. This is they were looking for action. They got exactly what they was looking for, especially by dealing with this the way they did. They wanted action, so they created action.
A sound decision to do. The cars are positioned the way the officers are trained. We are trained to use our vehicles as cover from any threat. That's what those officers did with the cars at the time. This is body worn camera from officer number 2. Go ahead, Bobby.
Bobby.
He's got a gun. He's got a gun on your right. On your right. He's got a gun.
So just to give you an idea, we have the 2 uniformed cars. We have 2 officers. There's 4 individuals in the stolen vehicle. All 4 individuals get out and start running, some in different directions. So officers decide which individual they're going to pursue. One officer decides to pursue the individual who we now know had a firearm in his hand. The other officer pursued another occupant that fled from the vehicle. And that'll be significant here in a moment when you see. So this is a still image. Again, I'm going to step out front. The car is parked over this way, okay? They are chasing the individual. So officer number 1 is chasing this guy right here. Okay, this is the guy we ultimately end up shooting. The other officer who actually fires the shot on this.
Notice how she said we.
Chasing a different
So
Yeah,
that just proves. All right, deposit. That just proves the point right there. That's why you have an officer killed. We're stopping the individuality and making it all general. You know, we're generalizing everything, right? She
Yeah, the
just said
division.
we.
Yeah, it's a division that's
Wow.
always been there, bro. It's been this
Wow.
this invisible division that nobody talks about, but as time goes on, man, it's coming out.
She's
more
claiming
and
that
more.
body, bro. She's claiming. She just said the guy that we gunned down.
Yep.
Okay. As this officer is chasing him, he sees a firearm in his hand and he yells, "Gun, gun, he's got a gun." This individual slips, trips, whatever, falls on the concrete right here. Other officers that were also there say in their interview, they heard the firearm hit the concrete. They heard the metal from the firearm hit the concrete. This individual gets up.
Is that a gun in his hand right there?
And continues to run through the dumpsters. Go ahead, Bob.
Nah, son.
Oh, I see what you're saying, Devious. How was he already on the other end of the dumpsters? But let's go back. Go. Why didn't they show what happens before that?
Because that's the setup right there. It looks like he's got a gun in his hand, bro. Look at that. It looks like
No,
he has a
that
gun.
officer just was smart of knowing where he's gonna go. But damn, bro,
Nah.
is that a gun right there? They don't.
Still has the firearm in his hand.
Yo,
Can
bro.
you zoom in?
Bro, I can't zoom in. But
Why are
listen
they
to
not
what
zooming in? Why are they
because
not zooming in?
listen, man. Listen to what she's saying, bro.
A different individual further out this way, in this direction. Okay. As this officer is chasing him, he sees a firearm in his hand and he yells, "Gun, gun, he's got a gun." This individual slips, trips, whatever, falls on the concrete right here.
Oh, so no, that's just him falling. That's not an officer on him, bro. That's just him. That's just him falling, bro.
I knew that.
We're also there, say in their interview.
Wait, you thought that was an officer down there?
The firearm hit the.
Yeah, it looked like I thought it was an officer on top of him, but whatever.
They heard the metal from the firearm hit the concrete. This individual gets up, still has the firearm in his hand, and continues to run through the dumpsters. Go ahead, Bob. So these are some still photos. This is the officer who originally saw him with the firearm in his hand, calling it out. He runs through the dumpsters. This officer knows that there's another officer here that is going to ultimately encounter him when he
Yeah, this is not a good look, man.
comes through the dumpsters. So he makes him aware of that. He shouts out to him, "On your right, on your right." He's on your right. And that's where this individual comes out from between the dumpsters.
And you know what, Plug, man? I gotta say, for me to bug out for a situation, it would have to be all in the right, and there would have to be no like situations that created the situations for you to be in. Like I'm talking as if this was my son. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you would have to be in the clear and the right the whole way for me to go crazy like this. You know what I mean? But if my son is in the wrong, bro, if he's fucking stealing cars, he's fucking carrying around guns, bro, he's with a bunch of fucking idiots. You're looking for action, you're gonna fucking find it, bro. Respectfully. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I would have crashed out for my you know what I mean?
Literally.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think I don't know, man. This not a lot of thought went into this, bro.